Man, Job just said what most believers are afraid to admit, that sometimes the wicked do prosper. So let's talk. In Job 21, he's still talking to his homies, but this time he's actually challenging their theology. So his friends believe that if you are righteous, you'll prosper. If you are wicked, you'll fail. But Job is basically saying this: you're wrong. Like, it's not always like this. Like, sometimes the wicked do prosper. Sometimes they live great lives. Sometimes they die peacefully in their sleep. Sometimes they, their children are blessed and everybody is doing well and life is great and they're millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires, right? He's not challenging God on this thing. What he's doing is challenging the theology that these people believe, because they really do believe that God is a vending machine. And if you're great and you're amazing and you're righteous and, you pray and you fast and you do what God tells you to do, then you will prosper. And if you don't do any of that, then you'll fail. I mean, think about today, 2025. There are plenty of wicked people who are prospering. But I had said this before. The enemy has blessings just like God has blessings. And he will give you exactly what you need to keep you where you are, so you don't believe that you need the Father. So, let's talk theology here, right? I got my notes because this is bananas. Let's scroll on through here, right? So this chapter confronts the false belief that still circulates today. Prosperity does not equal God's approval. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be God that's making you prosper. And suffering doesn't equal God's rejection, because we all go through things in life, period. Whether you are righteous or not. I mean, the word says that, the rain falls on the just and the unjust. So what makes you think that just because you are doing what you think you're supposed to be doing, right? Because even our most righteous selves are like filthy rags, that God won't let you go through some things. He's going to, because we're human, right? And so Job reminds us that God's justice is not always immediate. Judgment is sometimes delayed, but not denied. That part. So just because you think they think that they're getting away with it, you might think they're getting away with it too. I mean, okay, I have a prime example. Here in Pittsburgh, there was a gentleman who decided that he was going to rob a couple of banks. He robbed a bank and then got away with it. Then he robbed another one and got away with it. I think on the third bank that he decided, because he got greedy, that he was going to go rob this bank, they caught this man. And so he thought he was untouchable at some point because he kept doing it. And people probably thought that he was untouchable as well. But guess what happened? Justice came. It wasn't denied. He got caught. But it was delayed because, to be honest, if he was smart, he would have just quit the first time. But he didn't. And so he got caught. Justice was delayed. It was not denied. And God operates on an external timeline, not our emotional one. God's timing is sufficient. I know we hate to hear that sometimes because we want things to happen right now, especially in this microwave society. I mean, this TikTok society, right? Where we can only sit through 60 seconds of a video because that's what we've been conditioned to do. And so we don't have the patience to wait for God to do what it is that he wants to do in our lives. We want it right now. Now, granted, for me, I've been waiting 20 some years. God, come on, when's it coming? What have I done? What didn't I do? What lesson I need to learn? Because I'm over it. help a sister out, because it's been 20 some odd years now. Okay, all right. I just had to throw that in there. And this chapter quietly dismantles karma theology, right? That whole, now granted, you do reap what you sow, but the karma theology, that's quote in quotes, it's not really what it is, but where if you do right, it equals prosperity. If you do wrong, it equals failure in life, right? Okay, so what does this mean for us in 2025? Let's be real. This chapter definitely hits hard. It does, because a lot of us still believe that God is a vending machine today. So people see we often see people cut corners. We see people doing things that are unethical, right? We see people exploiting others. We see people getting on social media platforms and lying about outcomes of products. We see all of these unethical things, and they're still winning. You know that product don't work, but you pushing it anyway. And you claim to be saved. Right? But you still winning. For now. Job teaches us, don't let delayed justice shake your faith. Not at all. Don't confuse God's patience with God's permission. Okay? And don't abandon righteousness because wickedness looks easier. Let's be honest. It looks a lot easier to be wicked because these folks is getting away with everything that they do. And they are millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. Right? They are famous. But does fame really seem better than righteousness? Let's just be honest. Like, do I really have to be famous to be prosperous? Do people have to be all up in my business? I mean, think about it. Now, granted, there are some people, some artists out there, or actors and actresses, you know, people whose name is are household names, where they live private lives. And people aren't all up in it because they figured out a way to live a private life. But there are people out there, the majority of the famous folks out there, they're not private. They don't live private lives. The media is all up in it. And they speculate about every little detail of their lives. And they're prosperous, but is it worth it? I mean, God, I want to be comfortable. I'm going to just be honest. Jesus, I want to be comfortable. Like, I don't want to struggle. Life is not what it's hitting for. I promise you it's not. But would you trade it for unethical living? Because what's the word say? You can gain the world, but lose your soul. I wouldn't want that, I promise you. Like, my soul's important to me. Now, let's keep on going. I'm a little congested, y'all. Here's a little heart check for you, okay? Got a couple questions. Can you trust God even when life feels unfair? A lot of it does feel unfair. People who are drug addicts, right, win lotteries worth millions and millions of dollars, and then they lose it within 5 years. People who are mean and unethical, they you know what I mean, they prosper, and yet the people who are struggling and really trying to do things the right way are, you know, not prospering and have pennies to their name. It seems unfair, but can you still trust God? Will you stay faithful when obedience doesn't pay immediately? You're obedient. You've been obedient and faithful for the last 20 years, and it hasn't paid off yet. Now, granted, the word does say your gift will make room for you, but in God's timing. Letitia, I'm talking to myself here. This word is definitely for me. I'm going to be honest with you. Can you resist envying people who prosper without God? So Job isn't bitter. He's being honest, and God can handle honest faith. Listen, resist envying people. It's easy to get caught up, especially in the social media world where you see people prospering, where you see the YouTube influencers. They have the money, the houses, the cars, but do they really? Because we don't really know what's happening behind closed doors. We don't know what's happening behind the camera, right? But it looks like it. It looks like they're prospering. I mean, they have the platinum play button. Meanwhile, you don't have a button to sit on to push. Right? So listen. The bottom line is this. Sometimes the wicked seem to win, but God is not absent. He's just patient. And patience does not cancel judgment. Those people who are unethical will be judged, right? God is going to get his word will not be returned to him void at all. And faith isn't proven when life is fair. It's proven when it's not. Okay? Have a fantastic evening, and make sure you read chapter 22 tomorrow because we are halfway through the Job Files Faith Under Fire. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for being on this journey with me because it's eye-opening to me like nobody's business. So I hope it's blessing you as well. Be blessed. I'm going to see you tomorrow.